Hi, Beth Carson here. Today we're going to talk about the perks of owning a vacation rental. Should be a pretty fun video. Now, you probably know my place is in Fiji, and right now in the US it's winter, and as I look out my window, people are slogging it out on a slush road. It's gray, it's nasty, and it's cold, and there's part of me that's thinking, oh, I could be in Fiji right now. But here's the thing. I have people that are paying me $300 a night to stay at my house in Fiji. And what does it cost me to stay in Asheville, in my home? Not that much. So the way I see it, I'm making a profit for sticking it out and staying in Asheville for the winter. The other option I had was to go to Ecuador, and I'm really regretting that right now as we've just gone through Snowstorm Jonas, which has just decimated the East Coast. And I could have stayed at someone I know. They have a house that's 2 houses from the beach, and I could have stayed for $100 a week. Now, that's a third of what I'm getting per night at my vacation rental in Fiji. You and I are probably both more frugal with our vacations than other people are. We probably more have the luxury of time than most people do. If you're staying at a vacation rental, often you have 2-3 weeks vacation a year, and it's really important to you. So you're willing to spend money to have the experience. I'm willing to spend some time doing the research and, stay 2 houses from the beach without the hot tub and the hanging bed and the private pool, to just kind of not spend that money. I would never spend $300 a night on a vacation, but a lot of people do, and that's great news for you and I. My mantra is buy low, rent high. So you want to go into a place that's up and coming. And one of my favorite tricks is something that Pathfinder International uses. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't get anything out of recommending them. They're just who I would go through if I were in the purchasing stage right now. And they go in and they find out when roads are going to be being built, when airports are going to be built, and find out when that infrastructure is coming in to support getting a rock bottom dollar bargain on a home, and how that will appreciate in, say, 10 years time. And so that's really what I want you to do. I want you to buy low and then rent high, and look at ways you can add value that aren't too costly to you, but that will make people's experiences better. Another perk, other than feeling like I'm getting paid to stay home, is honestly, it's hard to beat having a vacation rental in another part of the world as interest when you walk into a party or a new situation. I certainly don't bring it up on my own. And there are a lot of people that have known me for a while that have no idea I have a place in Fiji, because I feel like that puts me in a sort of different economic stratosphere than I'm actually in. If they only knew the bargain that I got. And but just the experiences that I've had. I have to keep up with what's going on with the Fijian government, and I have to know a lot about what's going on in that little tiny corner of the world. And I can talk about things that other people just honestly, it's interesting to them. And so I can talk about going to Fiji a lot, and I have to go for work. And that just sounds like such a spoiled Paris Hilton kind of thing to say. But I really do work when I'm there. I make improvements. I do what I call, instead of mailing things, I mule them. I take 3 suitcases for me, and anybody that gets to come with me, they have to pretty much pack in a carry-on, and I get their luggage allowance. And I always bring linens, and knives are hard to come by, and just whatever I need, I pack it into the suitcase, and then usually leave the suitcases behind when I come back. Another perk is you can trade your hours or your weeks with someone on a home exchange site like Home Exchange. If you've ever seen the movie, okay, I'm gonna have to stop here. Movie, If you've ever seen the movie The Holiday, it's about two girls that exchange their primary home. Well, you can do that with your vacation rental too, and you can travel anywhere in the world. And it costs, I think, about $99 to join for 1 year, and you have unlimited access to homes all over the world, people's primary residences as well as their second homes. You can Another perk of a vacation rental is so obvious I almost hesitate to mention it, but other people are paying for you to own a piece of paradise. You get it set up for them. You know, you order the mattresses and get the linens and buy the wine glasses, and you get everything set up for them. And to me, that's the fun part. And you pick the paint colors for the wall and you decorate it, and people pay you for that, and eventually you will own a piece of your kind of paradise, but other people will have paid for it. We have long-term rentals, and I'm going to start that over. I have long-term rentals, but they're not nearly as fun. The money comes in like clockwork. And yes, it's money that I get to put in my pocket. It's not money that I realize is just on paper or after taxes. But Fiji makes so much more money, and it is so much more fun. Another perk is I've had over 500 sets of guests come to Starfish Blue over the years, well over that. And most of them I consider friends. When I send out an email blast, a lot of people will write back and say, hey, we don't have any plans to go to Fiji this year. We've got a cousin's wedding in such and such place that we have to go to. But it's so great to hear from you, and we have so many fond memories of Fiji. We just treasure that. And that is so fun. And I get to hear from them when they come back and when they write on the Facebook wall. And they're people all over the world that I would not have had the ability or the honor to work with had I not done this crazy thing and purchased a home in Fiji that other people pay me for. And the tax write-offs are pretty spectacular. My flight to Fiji, I get to take off at 50%. Car, meals, I get to take off at 50%. Check with your tax advisor because rules do change and it varies by country, but the tax write-offs that I get to take are actually fun. So really think hard about whether or not you want to join what I feel is the most fun career choice I've made. And it's very, in terms of hours, it's very part-time. Work is intensive in the beginning as you're setting up your listings and, you know, after you've purchased your home and furnished it. But then after that, it peters off to a few hours a week. And you can do this, and you can be part of this really fun, exclusive club to your success.